I want you to pause for a moment and take an honest look at your relationship with money. If you are like most highly ambitious, intelligent people, you are living a financial life that feels like a relentless, uphill battle. You work relentlessly, you strive, you put in the hours, you skip the sleep, you execute the strategies you read about, and yet the feeling persists. No matter how hard you run, you always seem to be one step behind. This struggle is exhausting, draining not just your bank account, but your very life force. It creates a suffocating tension where even the desire for prosperity is immediately countered by a deep, internal shadow of shame, anxiety, or guilt. You may intellectually want vast abundance, success, and ease, but every time you open a bill, check your investment portfolio, or even dream about a bigger future, a knot tightens in your stomach. That knot is a signal of deep internal conflict. This constant emotional state of vigilance and lack isn't just unpleasant. It is the very thing holding the door shut to the abundance you seek. Here is a profound tension we must address. Your conscious mind is dedicated to growth, dedicated to receiving wealth, but your emotional currency, your energetic vibration, is entirely rooted in fear, scarcity, and doubt. You are sending mixed signals to the universe, and more importantly, to your own subconscious system. Your strategic mind might say, I am ready for a six-figure year, but the energy coursing through your nervous system screams, danger! I might lose everything, just like my parents did, just like I did before. This internal misalignment means that even as you push harder externally, your core energetic state is pulling you backward, creating friction and resistance in every financial transaction and opportunity. You are running a sophisticated engine on faulty, restrictive wiring, guaranteeing a constant state of stagnation. This disconnect forces us to move beyond conventional financial advice. This isn't about learning a new budgeting software or finding a magical stock tip. This is about reprogramming the core frequency you emit. We must recognize that our default setting around money was installed years ago, often through childhood observation, ancestral financial trauma, or cultural narratives that equated wealth with wickedness or excessive effort. These inherited scripts run automatically, treating money as a finite resource to be feared and guarded, rather than as a generative tool that multiplies through flow and ease. If you believe deep down that financial life must always be difficult, the universe, operating through your subconscious belief system, will dutifully provide difficulty. The real turning point arrives when you accept that what separates stagnation from true, effortless prosperity is not effort, but energetic alignment, coherence between what you say you want and what you internally feel you are capable of receiving and sustaining. To shift this gravitational pull of scarcity, we must actively retire the exhausting myths that have governed our financial lives. The first myth is that grinding equals gaining. Prosperity is not proportional to suffering. It is proportional to clarity and flow. The second myth is that you must be perfect or somehow ready before wealth arrives. Wealth responds not to perfection, but to coherence. We start reprogramming by changing the internal atmosphere. This means treating your financial life like a garden. If the soil, your internal state, is arid and fearful, nothing prosperous can take root. We swap the frantic energy of chasing for the calm certainty of knowing and receiving. The moment you decide to vibrate at the frequency of worthiness and abundance, the old, limiting story of struggle begins to dissolve, making space for new, empowering truths to take its place. The journey toward this alignment is not mystical. It is deeply physiological and psychological. It involves simple, yet extremely powerful techniques designed to adjust your core vibration to the field of wealth. First, we anchor ourselves in radical gratitude, not for what we wish to have, but for the financial flow already present, no matter how small. This practice instantly pulls your nervous system out of deficit and into sufficiency. Second, we utilize detailed, intentional visualization, not daydreaming, but deep, feeling-based pre-experiencing of your desired financial reality, teaching your body what safety and expansion feel like. Third, and perhaps most crucially, we regulate the nervous system itself, using breath and awareness to slow the fear response. These techniques are the key to building energetic coherence. When you practice them, you feel almost immediate shifts. Your mind slows down, your body relaxes, and your energy expands. When this internal atmosphere stabilizes, the external world must rearrange itself to match your new frequency. This is where the magic of alignment becomes visible. You stop fighting for scraps, and instead, you find that financial doors begin to open with astonishing ease. New ideas surface not through brute force in your brain, but through quiet intuition. Unexpected contacts appear. Opportunities that perfectly match your skills and purpose materialize. You realize that you don't have to wait for the market, the job, or the external conditions to change, because everything truly begins by changing inside. You claim a new identity, that of financial self-master, someone who not only attracts money but manages it with wisdom, ethics, and a quiet confidence that transcends urgency. This commitment to alignment is not a temporary fix. It is a foundation of your permanent financial identity. Prosperity is your natural state when you are operating in coherence. Therefore, I ask you now to commit to maintaining this high vibrational state, regardless of the external noise. Let us reprogram this core belief together. I am not fighting for money. I am aligning with it. I am worthy of exponential growth, and my abundance flows to me through ease and purpose. Breathe that in. Feel the relaxation in your shoulders. Understand that the greatest financial tool you possess is your sustained energetic state. Live today, right now, as a person who is already financially free, aligned, and abundant. This is not passive wishing. It is active internal mastery. This is your new commitment, your permanent evolution into financial coherence. The deepest realization, the final layer of understanding that settles over you once the internal battle ceases, is that the wealth you spent years pursuing was never truly outside of you. It was always a function of your inner permission. When you finally adjusted your energetic frequency, when you exchanged perpetual low-grade dread for quiet confidence of knowing your inherent worth, you didn't just change your financial habits. You fundamentally changed the filter through which you experience reality. The engine of scarcity, that anxious, churning motor that demanded constant vigilance and forced effort, has finally gone silent. The shift is palpable. Think back to those frantic moments. The tightness in your chest before checking your bank balance, the mental gymnastics required to justify a necessary expense, the exhaustion of constantly feeling you had to prove your value just to deserve a livelihood. That was a misalignment speaking, a loud, demanding voice built on a shaky foundation of inherited fear. Now, imagine replacing that noise with an anchor of calm certainty. The financial decisions you face are no longer crises. They are opportunities for expansive, mature choice. This is the ultimate implication of achieving coherence. The money begins to flow not because you're struggling so hard to pull it in, but because you have stopped pushing away with fear. The external world, once a mirror reflecting your internal deficit, now begins to show you the truth of your abundance. You might recall Sarah, a successful architect who spent years overextending herself, equating exhaustion with success. She sought me out because despite earning 7 figures, she slept with an acidic knot of fear. When she began the practices of gratitude and nervous system regulation, she realized her energetic system was constantly screaming, "I am not safe." The moment she finally allowed her body to relax, to truly feel safe, even with the debt looming, the external tension dissolved. She didn't win the lottery. She received an unexpected, multi-million-dollar offer to purchase her firm, an offer she had previously sabotaged without realizing it, because her fear system simply wouldn't permit a reality of effortless ease. This is the deeper pattern. The financial opportunity that appears out of the blue isn't random. It is the universe responding to the signal you are now broadcasting. When you are truly aligned, you stop chasing the shadows of money and start walking toward the sunlight of purpose. The greatest abundance is not defined by the dollars in your account, but by the profound peace and resilience you feel, knowing that your financial security is no longer dependent on external chaos, but on internal mastery. This realization grants you an immense power. You are no longer the victim of your circumstances. You are the architect of your flow. The journey toward financial self-mastery is, therefore, the ultimate journey of self-trust. You have learned that your emotions are not just reactions. They are predictive inputs that determine your outcome. To remain in abundance, you must commit daily to the internal work, the visualization, the gratitude, the nervous system regulation, not as a chore, but as a luxurious, necessary maintenance of your highest self. Step fully into this new identity. Accept that you are not just capable of wealth. You are fundamentally deserving of a life lived in ease and exponential growth. The struggle is over. The flow has begun.